Hey Cancer, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. This is your April 2020 tarot reading. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is following science. This may be a new agey spiritual channel, but I have a degree in public health, which I never get to throw around, so I'm pretty excited about that. This shit's real. Stay the fuck home. Listen to science. Wash your hands, stop touching your face, which is the hardest thing I've ever tried to do in my life. And respect everyone and just stay home. Please, please, please. April 2020 for Cancer. So what we have going on April 8th is a full moon in Aries. That's a cardinal sign, so you may want to start something new around that time at a very simple level. And then the new moon on April 23rd in Taurus, which is a fixed, grounded sign. Obviously, we're moving into Taurus at the end of the month. But I always like to think of that. So it's spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, trying to find a way to get your hands in the dirt, to do things that ground you. I don't want anyone going out specifically to buy stuff to do this. We want everyone to stay home, but see if you can't get creative. Maybe you could order, I don't know, seeds online and start seeds for the growing season or something to stay grounded and getting your hands on the soil. Even if you live somewhere where you can't really get outside, sitting by an open window and getting the sun on you, doing whatever you can, being creative during this time to still feel grounded. All right, Cancer. I thought you guys had a pretty awesome reading last month. I do a reading and I don't remember. People make comments and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't even remember. Did I say that? I don't know. I do so many, I just don't retain, at my age too, I don't retain stuff. I do stuff at work all the time. All of a sudden be like, oh my God, did I ever do that? Did I ever send that email? Did I ever whatever? And I just don't remember. It's like off my list and it's done. Although I remember every lyric to every fucking song I hate from like 30 years ago, but... Cancer. I love Cancer. My roommate from college is Cancer, and my beautiful, amazing, talented, intelligent niece is a Cancer. They're tough-ass people. You think they're just kind of sweet, and they are sweet. I'm not saying you guys aren't, but sweet and maybe a little quiet, and they don't really say stuff. They don't miss a fucking thing, and there's only so much they will tolerate. So if you're cross-watching, don't fuck with your Cancer. They're quality people. Don't fuck with them. Knight of Cups. Ooh, some love coming in. An offer that will elicit a positive emotional response. Nice. Or maybe you will. You're a cup sign. Maybe you will be opening up and offering or reciprocating love to someone else. 7 of Wands. Are there any situations that come up where you're feeling pressured from someone or someone's, I don't want to say attacking you because that sounds aggressive, but where you feel like someone's coming at you in some way or accusing you or doing something? This is that card that's just the facts, ma'am. You don't need to over-explain or explain yourselves. No is a complete sentence. Or no thank you, some people still want to be polite. But it's kind of, if someone's coming at you very emotionally, and this is hard because I feel like you guys are very empathic, is not to take on those feelings and feel responsible for making the other person feel better or feeling on the defensive. Somehow putting up a barrier so you don't take on or feel as though you're responsible for someone else's behavior, or that if you're not doing something someone else wants you to do, that's their fucking problem. And it doesn't mean you don't care about them or you're not factoring them in or considering them. It just may be that in your life, it's just not something that's going to happen at the moment. It's for whatever reason. And you don't even necessarily, this is a real lesson. It's not to over explain it, not to try to justify it. Like they have a point of getting a vote in your life. And again, this doesn't mean you're not considering them, you're being inconsiderate, you're selfish. You have to make decisions for yourself. I'm kind of getting an emperor vibe here. And you have to live with the consequences of your actions. And if they're going to make your life about them and take it personally if you don't do what they think you should do, especially if you're an adult, if you're younger, I don't know. But if you're an adult, then maybe time for that relationship to change if this is something that happens a lot with someone. Setting boundaries. It's a very difficult skill to learn. Some people never learn it. Seven of Cups, real creative energy. This card is often read as not being able to pick something, being scattered, being daydreamy. And it is, but I don't think, I'm not an artist, but if you think of like traditional art, I don't think J.K. Rowling just sat down and started writing Harry Potter without imagining it, without having the story, that creativity in her head where she had this idea and had the space to have the idea prior to writing, if that makes sense. So this could be a real creative time for you in April, and you may have that idea, the idea you're waiting for. So I would encourage you to write down your thoughts. So no matter how fleeting, if you have an idea, just start recording it and writing down and then revisiting it periodically, because you may have your big idea for something. Ace of Pentacles, lots of earth energy coming through, which isn't a surprise. This is something in your everyday life will change tangibly. So you could get a new job, you could move, you could start a new exercise routine, health routine, you could redecorate. I wonder if people's houses will look amazing after quarantine. So even if I've had 3 different jobs where I work now, so even though I park in the same parking lot for all 3 of them, I went into a totally different building. I've worked in different buildings. I tend to go, even just the smallest change, you may tend to eat at a different place. Something obviously tangible, but this is a beautiful new beginning offer from the universe, people like to say. And it's a very positive card. It has a little bit of a Wheel of Fortune type energy going on with that giant round pentacle. And if you walk through this gate to this new way of life, it's a very positive card. Oh, there's a rabbit there. If you don't want to get pregnant, take precautions. But it's a fertile time. So I can really see this 7 of Cups, this more dreamy energy, making its way into the tangible world. So that's what I'm talking about. You could have this idea this month that really is a business idea, an idea for a book, whatever. I almost don't like to say stuff because I don't want to put anything in your head, whatever came to mind. So you will be wrapping something up in order for this Ace of Pentacles to come in. The world isn't good or bad. It just is. Life is always going in cycles. So if you think about it, if this was the end of a job, that could be bad, unless you're leaving it for a new job. I guess if you were laid off or fired, it would be bad. It's interesting. I was listening to this TED Talk about change, and they were talking about, I think he was Australian, this group of like 20 people got laid off, and it motivated, they started getting together outside of work and connecting with each other, and I think some of them started a new business together, and almost pretty much all of them were happier because they realized they weren't happy there. They didn't like that job. They didn't like that work. But then sometimes this world card is very much, I'm not saying you're going to lose your job, but I'm just trying to give examples. But this could be graduating from college or finishing a course or a certificate or whatever. It's not really good. It's good. It's just, it is what it is. One thing, you finish one thing and now it's time to move on to something else. So there will be a shift, a change, a culmination of something which prompts a new beginning. Page of Wands. This, again, is that entrepreneurial spirit I'm feeling. This, you're going to have that idea. You're going to figure something out. And it's something you're going to be motivated and passionate about to get started. I don't know what it is, Cancer, but I feel it strongly. Yes. Ace. Okay, this is like business of your own, something you love to do and you're passionate about becoming. My light just dinged. I don't know if you can hear that, but it doesn't happen very often. And when it does, it seems to highlight something. So new beginning, new business idea, you're just going to have that idea. You're going to have that inspiration, that thing that it's going to impact the rest of your life. I don't know how else to say it. I feel it so strong. Wow. Yep. Happily ever after. It's going to affect the rest of your life. It's going to be something that, looking back on your life, you'll be like, what if that had never happened? It's going to be the catalyst in the beginning for so many amazing, wonderful things moving forward. I feel it strongly for you guys, very strongly. Whew. All right. Romance. How are you guys passing the time you're stuck at home? I organized my Tupperware drawer. That was more satisfying than it should have been. I'm trying to do little projects. I'm trying not to get overwhelmed, but going for lots of walks with my mom. We live not together, but right next door to each other, so we're already commingled. So we're taking lots of nice long walks. I live out in the country on a dirt road, so we don't touch anyone or see any, get close to anyone. I'm just enjoying it. Honestly, it's not a whole hell of a lot different from my normal life. I'm pretty much a homebody, so it wasn't a big change, but we'll see. It's only been a few days, so we'll see how I feel in a little while. The Devil. Okay, so, I'm just going to say in the love reading, that's, I'm sorry, it's the Tower. Oh, the Fool. Fool in the Tower. Here's that Knight of Cups again. The Sun. All right. I see that you've jumped into relationships before only to find, and it's not your fault. We all do it. You don't know what a relationship's going to be like until you're in it. This is just the way it is. Or job, anything. But I may have a crystal ball, but I'm not going to pretend that I can tell you how everything's going going to be until you're in it. But you've learned, I just feel like you've really learned a lesson recently, and you are approaching things in a different way. And that's relationships as well. You've gotten into relationships really fast. In the past, you've jumped in, right? The fool. You've just jumped right into them with all in, and it hasn't worked out because you've found people have issues or whatever, and so I feel like that is at the bottom of the deck because it's informing you and the forward. And here's the moving forward, this Three of Swords. This is a very odd card. To be careful because they're kind of racy, but the Three of Swords is heartbreak, is things not working out. And so I love this. So this is one of my favorite cards because I just think it's a Two of Wands. So you're both very passionate towards each other. But I just love this. If you've ever had this part of a relationship where she has her foot on his leg under the table and they're completely connected. It looks to me like they're out, maybe like at a restaurant or something, but they only see themselves. They're so into each other, everything else melts away in the background. I like that. All right, I'm gonna have to pull some more cards because I don't know what's going on. The Seven of Swords. So we have these. We know we have the Tower, we have the Three Swords, we have the Seven of Swords. I don't feel like this is recent, but I feel like we know that things hadn't gone so well in the past. So what's this one? Empress. So we've got. So maybe you're still processing that. But I guess there has to be a time where you move, where you stop analyze. I want to say stop because it's just what we all do. Where you, I'm sorry. I have cough drops. They're so giant. I don't know if I can talk. I think because I drink coffee and there's milk in the coffee in the morning, it makes my throat yucky. Okay. So it's like you want to. Cough drops are too big. I can't talk. Yes, things didn't go well in the past. You can't. Yes, you can be aware of red flags and not jump right in before really getting to know each other and do all those things. But on some level, you have to realize you can't. There's no guarantee you're not going to end up in another relationship where it doesn't work out. There's some level of. There's a lot of unknowns when it comes to relationships. And again, until you're in it, it's hard to know how the combination of your personality and the other person's personality and where you are in your lives and the experiences you've had and how you were brought up. I mean, there's so many millions of factors, whether you'll be a match or not for the long run. And so it's almost like you have to wrap your head around it and think, okay, well, moving forward, I'm going to take my time to get to know someone first. But at some point, I have to allow myself to enter this relationship and just know that if it doesn't work out, I am strong enough to handle it and to move on. And I don't know, it's like a more Zen way of looking at it. So I did get this nice line here. So yes, we have all this Three of Swords, Seven of Swords, Tower crap on the top. Sorry. But down here we have the Two of Wands, the Empress. Oh, you know what's sort of awesome? So in the middle of this is this Empress. So this is, don't get hung up on gender, but this is someone in their power that is just fine on their own. This is kind of the major arcana of the Nine of Pentacles to me. This person has their shit together. They don't need anyone. So if they bring someone into their lives, it's because they're adding something. They're interesting. But there's no desperation. There's no it's kind of desperation. I don't want anyone to feel bad because we all do that. We think, oh, when we get this person or we have this relationship for this job, everything's going to be great. But really, we have to be great first, and then everything else is just the icing on the cake. Eight of Pentacles, this is maybe meeting someone that's interested, like-minded person that has the same sort of philosophy on life and outlook on life, and they're positive. So I almost feel like when you're out looking for someone, it's really going to be important that you guys share a similar outlook and philosophy, that you're both like if you're a very positive person, they're positive. If you're an active person that likes to work out and go out, that you're with someone. And you don't have to have someone exact by any means. But I think, again, if you're a positive go-getter, having someone that's a positive go-getter would really work well for you. So what is like a really strong trait of yours? I'm not so sure I believe in the opposites attract. I know I was listening to Deborah Silverman. She's an astrologer. And she says people ask her all the time which zodiac signs go best together. And she said, more recently, she said someone whose rising or sun sign is your moon sign works well. But I heard her also say is that, yes, opposites attract in the beginning, but it's those differences that start to bug the crap out of you and cause problems in the relationship down the road. And that people who are more similar do better. And I'm single at 49, so I've never had a successful relationship. I don't like saying it that way either, but I'm no expert, I guess. I don't know. I don't think relationships are necessarily a failure if they don't last for the long haul. But yeah. So anyway, I think you would benefit from someone who's as lovely as you are. Stay safe, stay home, wash your hands, follow science, and I'll see you guys at the next reading. Take care.